Okay, we are live. Um, First of all, let me say thank you so much, Lucy, for the brilliant idea of doing a restream of this because I really wanted to share this, and I'm glad I'm not gonna have to delete this video. But what I want to talk about tonight is not what to do, like what steps to take legally if a dog dies. Oh, like call your lawyer, make sure you record this, make sure you record that. That's not what I'm talking about because it's already stressful enough. Hey, what's up, Angela? Thank you for coming back. And thank you, Lucy, for the suggestion. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so it's really weird. This might be a really important piece of I guess ideas to share tonight because this is my fourth time streaming this within the past like 20 minutes. Every time I tried to stream this, something kept happening and I couldn't stream it, so I kept having to delete the videos. And then so that last time was the third time I tried, and I was like, oh, third time's a charm. And then I made a slip up, and so Lucy brilliantly suggested I end the stream, delete it, and then start a new stream. I did, and now I was like choking to death. I was literally about to choke to death. And usually when stuff happens to try to prevent me from sharing a message, ever since I was a kid, even in high school, in college, everything, when I had a message to share, like I wanted to stand up for some kids that I thought were being picked on and things like that, stuff would happen. I would lose my voice. I would just go hoarse for weeks beforehand. Just lots of stuff would get in the way. It's really interesting. So maybe I'm gonna get right into this because this is probably gonna help somebody. Lucy says, "You're welcome. I know I'll need the video in the future as I'm starting out as a groomer." Wow. Okay. Point proven. Validation right there. Owen Benjamin, talk about a time you've lost one of your dogs. Okay. And better yet, I'll tell you about a time I lost one of my clients' dogs. And this may ruin my reputation, but I don't care. I was about to quit grooming anyways when this happened. You're right, Angela. It probably is anxiety. Okay. So when I was grooming in Chambly, and we were grooming out of our house, I was grooming in our den, and like I called it the groom room. It was a little side room, right? And there was a poodle there named Chocolate, and Chocolate was a little finicky, and he didn't like other dogs. He would snap at other dogs and stuff like that. But I thought, I'm Caesar Milan. I'll do the Caesar Milan stuff, and I was like, he needs to be around other dogs. He needs to socialize. So I just had him out. I should have put him in the kennel, but I had him out because I was arrogant and I was prideful and I was stupid. And I still have a lot of gas and I burped out of nowhere. Anyways, so I finished him. I put his bandana on. I put him down, and then I grabbed the next dog and I go out because our tub was out in the carport area. So I go out in the carport area, which was blocked off. We blocked it off. We made a wall, and I hear my dad pulls up in his minivan, and then he goes, John. I hear this, John. And I heard that ever since I was a kid. I know something's right, like not wrong, right? Something's up, and then something's not right. Anyways, and then I hear my wife in the groom room saying, honey. And she comes out and she's like, Chocolate just jumped out the window. And we had this window cracked a little bit, just to get some airflow, air ventilation, right? I guess he, nuzzled through the crack and went through, right, out on the street. And now he's gone. And I was like, honey, watch the dog. I was like, watch the dog in the tub, So I dart out and I run. I mean, I was not athletic at that time. I mean, not that I'm very athletic now, but I'm much more so now than I was back then because I take exercise seriously now. But I was just I don't think I've even run that much when in high school when I played basketball. You know, I mean, I just ran, adrenaline took over. And I see people, I don't see the dog, but I see lines of car on Chambly Dunwoody, and people are like, "Are you the dog? Keep going. He's running that way." So I just know that he's running that way. So I'm running that way. Everybody's like, "Keep going." Finally, there's no more cars. There's nobody around. There's nothing. I'm like, and then I start, slowing down. I'm jogging at this point, and then I'm walking, and now I just realize how tired and out of breath I am, right? And I'm just, holy cow, this dog is gone, And I just told myself, I'm not going back home until I find this dog. I'm not. If I have to stay out all night walking the streets, that's what I want to do. I'm gonna find this dog. And so I'm walking, I'm walking. And then I called, I told the owner what's going on. Even talking about this stuff, I guess, fills me with anxiety because I have to relive everything. I'm feeling all the emotions again. But anyways, so I tell the owner what happened. I texted her because I didn't even have the guts to call her. She calls me, and I'm out of breath, and I'm telling her what's going on. She's like, "I'm leaving work right now." She she's like, "I'm on the road. Where are you?" Later on, and I'm on the phone with her. We meet up on the road. I get in the car. She's crying. She's frantic. I'm panicking. And I just told her, like, she's like, "How could you let this happen?" And I was like, "If you want to punch me in my face, just punch me in my face as hard as you can. I want you to, actually, like, I want to feel it because I deserve it. I'm such a piece of, shit, I can't believe I lost your dog like that, And I told her what happened. She's like, "No, that's not what happened. He wouldn't do that." I was like, "But that's what happened." And then, yeah, it's just she didn't really believe me, and I don't blame her because she was in such panic mode. She lost her dog. Finally, it's about 11:45 at night, and no, it was about 11:30. It was about 11:30 at night. I remember thinking, I'm probably not gonna find this dog by the end of the day. And I told myself, if I don't find this dog by the end of the day, I'm not grooming it anymore, and that was gonna be it. I was not gonna groom again. And I even told her father, who called me. I was like, it doesn't matter if you press charges with me or not. That's not what I'm afraid of. I don't really care about that right now. I need to find that dog. That's all I care about. And I was like, if I don't find that dog, I'm never gonna forgive myself. So you don't have to come after me. I'm not gonna run my business anymore. I'm gonna shut down my business, and I'm gonna go back to car sales. Something I know, I'm not gonna be a groomer anymore. And so about 11:30 o'clock at night, um, just a desperate ditch, I did take a picture of him before when I was finished. So we got that picture. We made a dog missing sign, and we were driving to Walmart because I was going to print out a bunch of these missing signs with his picture that I took right after I groomed him. So it's a very recent picture. So we're going to Walmart, and I get the call from his parents, and I was like, hello. And they're so excited. They're happy. I hear on the phone, and I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "We found him. We found him. Somebody, somebody went out in their backyard because they heard something underneath a car that was in their backyard. A car that was just broken down car that wasn't running. He went under that car and hid out, I guess, and the person, I guess, saw something under there, and they found him. They got him out of the car. They saw the collar and called the number, and that's and it was 11:45. I remember I remember looking at the clock. I remember thinking, good one, universe, because I really was gonna quit grooming that day. It was just too much. The stress and everything was just too much. Lucy says, "OMG, I'm so relieved the dog was found." Yeah, me too. Oh my god, oh my god, I wasn't gonna groom anymore. I'm serious. I still have anxiety about that. I now a lesson learned. If a dog is acting iffy and all of that, I'm gonna put him in a kennel, safe, secure. I don't have to worry about stuff like that anymore. I'm not gonna think that I know better or I'm the special one, I'm the exception to the rule. I'm done with that. I'm done thinking that I'm better than anyone else or that I'm special or anything like that. I have to follow the rules too because things like that happen to me all the time, and I think that it was my own arrogance to not see it, to not see that, hey, you keep messing up, you know. Um, but anyways, the way that I cope, and that was just one thing. But again, accept. Okay, you know what? That's a great. I went through these steps when I went through that too as well. Okay, so Angelus, thank God it was found. Nikki, that was like a horror movie. I'm like, is the dog in the tub okay? Yes. My wife put the dog in the room. The dog in the tub was okay. Is Chocolate gonna get hit by a car? That's exactly what I was scared of. Thank God. Yeah. Nikki says, these are why there are rules and laws. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Exactly. Exactly. And that's why I'm such a big supporter of groomer licensing now, because yeah, there needs to be some standards that we all follow. Nobody needs to be an exception to the rule. Just because I thought I was the dog whisperer or some sort of special person with the dog, I thought that I could handle it. I thought I knew better. I never would have imagined that he would have jumped up and squeezed himself through that crack out the window. I mean, and he seemed happy with me. He seemed cool with me even. The crazy thing is, a couple times at night, what kept me searching all night. A couple times at night, he would pop out of nowhere, and I would be like, "Chocolate." I'm like, "I'm not mad at you, Chocolate. I'm not mad at you." I'm like, "I'm just stay right there," and I would get close, and he would take off again. I'm like, "Oh my God!" So I kept getting like teased all night, getting drugged further and further away from my house. Even, oh my God. Anyways, Nikki Hammond, right? Simple mistake, but simple mistakes can also be avoided. Exactly, exactly. Had I known better, right? So, but here's the thing: when you're in it, okay, it's easy in hindsight to look back on and say this and this and this what I should have done, could have done, right? But when you're in it, when the shit has hit the fan, okay, and you are in a deep pile of shit, right? Now, what do you do? Okay. Shoulda, coulda, wouldas are great in hindsight when you look back on it, or when someone else is watching you go through it. It's easy to say shoulda, coulda, woulda. But what if you're the one in it, right? And it's already happened, right? This is the way I cope. This is literally what pulled me out of depression several times. First thing is accept what it is. Accept the situation for what it is. And Tony Robbins, he makes a great point. He says, see it for what it is, but don't make it worse than what it is. Accept the situation for what it is. See it for reality. In reality, this is what the situation is, whether I like it or not. But then don't make it worse than it is either, right? And then, so, you know, the groomer that called me this morning, who was just upset in tears, I told her the same thing. It's already happened. You know, the dog already died. You have to just accept what happened and understand that, you know, you can't change it. You can't change what happened. To try to resist it, to try to fight it, to wish it was different. This is all what creates unhappiness, unease, because we're trying to change something that cannot be changed. So you have to accept the situation for what it is. Just acceptance doesn't mean um, resignation. It doesn't mean you just throw your hands up and say, "Oh, I give up. Oh, the world is just unfair." No, that's called resignation. Acceptance means seeing the situation for what it is and saying, "Okay, this is what it is." Taking inventory of the situation. Okay, that way, when you take a realistic, objective view of the situation of what's going on, then you can start to make better decisions, right? When you can see the situation for what it really is, then you can make better decisions. Then ask better questions. Rather than ask yourself, why does this always happen to me? Why am I so stupid? you know Why can't I get it? What if people find out? You know, things like that. Those are not good questions because and Tony Robbins says the quality of our life is largely determined by the quality of our questions. And then a bunch of other people said that same thing a different other way. but for, the crazy thing is whenever I would have to do that, try to clear everything that's going on back there in my throat area, nose and throat where it attaches. I would feel so angry and frustrated with myself. And then I think the more angry and frustrated I would feel, the more I would tense up and the more I would try to get it out rather than like what Angela said. Just take a deep breath and just almost just reset. Okay, but anyways, again, whenever that happens to me now, rather than getting angry, rather than get upset. And I even didn't even talk about it. I didn't talk about why that happened, that I actually have a hole drilled through my nasal cavity right down to my throat. And that's what causes all the buildup back there. And then I start feeling like I'm choking. My nose gets stuffed at the same time that I feel like I can't breathe through my throat. Then my nose feels stuffed at the same time. And then I get all stuffed up. And then my voice locks up. um, it used to really frustrate me, and it used to really, really make me feel angry at myself, at my own body. But that only made things worse. Again, acceptance, just accepting what is happening, accepting what is. I can't change it, you know? I can only accept it. And then once I accept the situation, then because I'm not angry anymore, because I have better control over my emotions now, now I can understand what's going on. And once I understand what's going on, I can bring my body back to a calm level. And then, again, asking better questions instead of asking, why does this always happen? Why do I have to have such a crappy throat? You know, that's not a good question. A better question would be, what are some things that I can do to make it better next time? Right? What can I take from this situation? So I asked the lady who I asked the lady who called me this morning and we talked. I asked her, what can we take from this situation? What can we do to make it better next time? I was like, I don't want you to feel bad. I was like, but what if you looked into a video surveillance system in your van? Not you don't have to go audio visual, maybe just visual, so you can at least have a video of what was going on just to protect yourself, in the future. And I was like, if that's out of your budget right now, and I totally get that, then you can use your phone like I do. Just plug your phone into a charger, put it up there, and maybe you don't even have to say a word. Just stream it live on YouTube, and then you can delete the video later if you want. But you can start recording yourself, at least having that footage, that documentation of what happened during the groom to protect yourself in the future. I was like, that's some, and she was saying, it's funny you mentioned that because I kept thinking about that. She was like, I kept pushing it off, pushing it off. She was like, maybe this is a sign that I need to go ahead and get that, video system in place. I was like, if you've already been thinking about that, maybe this happened for a reason. Maybe the universe is giving you a push. Go ahead and get that, because maybe this situation is a very light situation compared to what's about to happen. Maybe somebody's setting you up in the future. Maybe one of your competitors who doesn't like you because you're doing so well and you have two vans now and you're thinking about getting a third. Maybe somebody's seeing all this happening for you and they don't like it, and so maybe they're going to set you up in the future. And I was telling her, I'm just talking hypothetically, but what if somebody is trying to set you up with the dog that they know has issues, and they know that things could go really bad, the dog could have a stroke or a seizure or something, and they set you up to go there, and then they blame you, they blame it all on you, and they say this is the second time it happened and stuff like that. I was like, maybe something's about to happen in the future that the universe is trying to get you to protect yourself from. So today's thing happened. The dog that you groomed yesterday, which was fine when you left him, all of a sudden was coughing up blood that evening and then died at the ER emergency room, that's this morning. But he was fine before, and the owners even told you he had this collapsed trachea, and if he coughs, just massage his chest, and you did that. You did exactly what you were told. You went there to help, and now you're getting blamed for this dog dying, but there's really no evidence to substantiate their claims. So I was like, maybe you're gonna get off easy this time. But what if next time it's not gonna be such an easy case? I was like, what if next time it's really serious? Maybe this happened, you just accept what happened, what is, and you look at the situation a little more clearly, a little more level-headed. Then you ask yourself a better question: what can I do to prevent this from happening next time? What can I take from this situation? What can I take from this experience? What lesson can I learn to help me in the future, right? So you ask better questions. The Owen Benjamin, it's supposed to be like waves washing away a sandcastle little by little. Stream it live, set it to private. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. What a great idea. I'm going to tell her that, Owen. I'm actually going to call her tomorrow. I'm going to tell her, oh my God, I came up with a brilliant idea all by myself. Stream it live and set it to private so no one can even watch it. Then if anything happens afterwards, you still have that, all on your YouTube channel privately. Wow, what an amazing idea I came up with all on my own. Owen Prangel is like, I need a lawyer. You better lawyer up, buddy. Nikki Hammond, it sounds like it could honestly be coincidental timing. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So just accept the situation for what it is. The dog's already dead. That's very unfortunate. And I know what she's going through. I know how hard it is. And I know she's going to be dealing with this for a while. But you have to the sooner you can accept it, the sooner you can move on. And then you ask yourself better questions rather than saying, why does my job suck so much? You can say, what is it about my job that I can gain a more interest in? What is it about what about my job can I find interesting? What about my job does satisfy me? Things like that. Start asking yourself better questions so that you put your brain to work to answering better questions. What can I do to better enjoy my job? What are some things that I can do at my job so that I'll enjoy it more? That's a much better question than why does my job suck so much? You know? And so then once you ask yourself better questions and then you come up with the better answer, then you take action. This is the critical thing, action. That famous quote, the law of attraction, it spells action, but anyways, this for me has been the biggest thing when I'm depressed. When I'm depressed and I can't even get out of bed, a lot of times my dog's barking and stuff and my dog's needing me. That's the only thing that really gets me out of bed, right? And I'll drag my feet, I'll drag myself and let them out. Usually I won't even walk them because I know that if I walk them, I'll feel productive and I won't feel depressed anymore. You know what I'm saying? Can you guys relate? Sometimes you just want to feel depressed. You don't want to feel better. Sometimes you get so down, you just want to stay down almost. I don't know if you guys can relate to that or not. But yeah, I'll just let them out because I know if I gear up and I get them all ready and I go on a good walk and I come back, I may actually feel better. And like in my back of my mind, I probably don't want that. I want to go back upstairs and just go in my bed and just sulk sometimes. And so by catching myself when I'm there, accepting the situation for what it is, start asking myself better questions. What can I do what it will what are some things that I can do that I might that might help me, you know? So then what I did this last time, this was just back in January when I couldn't get out of my bed. I made my bed. I got out of my bed and I made my bed, right? Once I made my bed, it kind of felt like I don't want to get back in it because I just made it, right? Once I made my bed, I started vacuuming my room. Once my room was, you know, everything was up off the floor, I vacuumed the floors, if the floors were clean, my bed was made. I don't know. I felt a little better. Okay. And then I kind of I got in the mood to walk my dogs. So then I started walking my dogs. Came back from the walk, I felt a little better. Then I vacuumed the stairs and then I cleaned downstairs the floor. I swept the floors, did the dishes even, and then I felt really good. So that's the thing. When I oh my god. So when I hurt my back and I have I might they're here somewhere. I have MRIs to prove it because most people don't believe me. I have two herniated discs. They were ruptured to the right side, and I had crippling, debilitating sciatic pain. I felt like I was being split in half right here at my waist, and the shooting pain would go down in my left leg. It was my left leg. Anyways, um, the doctor that I got mad at because he wouldn't give me stronger pain medicine because I kept telling him the Lortabs aren't working anymore, and he was like, because when I first went to him and he saw the injury and everything, he gave me it was oxycodone, not oxycodone. It was oxycodone, I think, or no hydrocodone. He gave me hydrocodone, and I loved it. But then he's like, we got to ease off. He gave me Lortabs, which is lesser, less strong. I was upset. I was miserable. I was angry. I felt the pain. I kept asking for the hydrocodone. He was like, no, 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 no. Then I went to another doctor. I was like, screw that. They wouldn't give it to me. So then I went back to the same doctor and I was like, listen, give me the freaking medicine. I was like, I can't move. I hurt. It hurts to do anything. And he was like, no, I can't. And he was so anyways, he was telling me, June, you gotta walk. He was like, you have to just walk. You gotta start walking. And I was like, I can't walk. I was so angry. I was like, why don't you believe me? I was like, what can I do to make you believe me? I was like, I can't walk. It hurts to walk. It hurts to even be here right now. And I was like, and he was like, I know it hurts, but you still have to do it. And I was like, you don't know. I was like, how can you know my pain? And he was like, because I have two herniated discs. And that's when I was like, I had nothing. So I was like, what? And he goes, I have two herniated discs. He's like, I suffer from the same pain you do. And I was like, you know, how do you get to, how do you work? He was like, I watch my posture. I exercise regularly. I watch what I eat. He was like, your belly is probably a big reason why your back hurts so much. But he was like, I come to work. He was like, whenever I feel the pain, whenever I move somewhere a certain way and I feel the sharp pain, I feel my body telling me that hurts. He's like, then I don't move that way and I'm more careful. He was like, a lot of times the pain, your body, when it hurts and that pain that you feel, you want that pain because your body, now you know which way not to move. He was like, if you take these really strong medications and you mask that pain, then you won't feel it. You don't know that you're moving a bad way for the disc, and then you'll keep doing further damage to it. He was like, you need to deal with it. He was like, you got to deal with it and you got to walk. And so I remember going home that day. I remember it was the afternoon because I was laying on my the couch here. It was at this house, actually. This was like almost 20 years ago. Crazy. Wow. This is about more than 20 years ago. Holy crap. Anyways, So I was laying on my couch and I was so angry, angry at the world, angry at God, angry at everything because I had dropped out of Bible college. I felt like there was no purpose to anything. There's no purpose in life. You know, I felt like I was worthless. I felt like not, and then I couldn't even get these pain medications, the hydrocodone. He wouldn't even prescribe it to me because, he thinks I'm a druggie or something. So then I was mad. I was angry. I was resentful. I remember I took like a handful of Lortabs and I was like, screw it. Boom. I took like a big handful. I don't even know how many was in there. And I remember I drank, I just, I was swallowing, all of it down. And I remember thinking to myself, you're probably going to die. And I remember thinking to myself, well, that's fine. That's why I'm doing this. That was the point. And I was thinking, I'm going to go to sleep. And if I don't wake up, I'll be fine with it, you know? And then I did. I just laid down. I remember waking up with a stomach ache, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I remember the disappointment that I felt, because the pain was still there. The pain was still there. I could feel it. And the thing is, when you're laying down and you have that disc pain, when you're about to get up, just the thought of getting up terrifies you because you know that when you're about to shift the weight, that change in pressure, it feels like you're about to snap in half and the pain is just excruciating. And so I was feeling scared even just to even get up. But again, my dog was there, Angel. I had her in the house at that time. And now they're in the garage. Anyways, you know, I walked my dogs because I remember thinking, I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna finish the job. I'm gonna kill myself. And then I remember thinking, if I'm gonna kill myself, the least I can do is walk my dog one last time. I mean, I was like thinking again, the self guilt, the self loathing. Like, what did she do to deserve an owner like you? She didn't do anything. It's not her fault. I was like, least I can do is just give her a good last memory of me. Give her a nice walk. So I dealt with it. I got up in the pain and I was just like, I don't care. This is my last walk. I'll deal with the pain. I don't care. I remember walking and during the walk, I mean, I don't even remember the things I was thinking, but I remember just thinking all kinds of stuff, just alone with me and my dog, Angel. We were walking around this neighborhood and I remember the pain, it hurt, but I just kept thinking, I don't care. It's all gonna be over soon anyways. I can deal with it for a little longer. And that's what I told myself. And then, oh my God, now I remember. I said, I can deal with this a little longer. I told myself that I can deal with this a little longer. And then the next question was, well, can't you deal with anything just for a little longer then? And it's like, yeah, I guess I can. If I tell myself nothing really lasts forever and I only have to deal with this for so long, I guess I can put up with anything then if I know I just have to put up with it for so long, right? Anyone can do one more day. Anyone can do 2 more days. Let's just take it one more day at a time. I remember thinking like that, and I remember thinking, "All right, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna never try to kill myself again, but I'm gonna at least give it one more day." And I told myself that I can at least put up with with it one more day. And that's what I was doing. And then it's like, again, I wasn't asking good questions. I wasn't asking good questions. I wasn't accepting the situation. I hated the situation. I was kept wishing it was better. Caused me so much unhappiness, so much anger. I was not asking myself good questions. I was asking, how can I end this? That's not a good question. And I was not taking any action. The doctor begged me to take some action. He was begging me to just take a walk, and I wouldn't do it. You know. So there's a good example of the opposite of this. What can happen if you don't accept, if you don't ask good questions, and if you don't take any action? That's what can happen. You go down the spiral and you ask yourself, what's the point? And that's not a good question. Let's see here. Janice Place. Yep, my Marley died at my feet without letting me know his illness. On February 12th. I think he was happy to choose where and when he died. He was only 11 years old. Oh my goodness, Janet. I'm sorry for that. Jesus H. Christ. We literally have Jesus H. Christ in the house. If you have a dog that has been diagnosed with a collapsed trachea and is responding to medication, you must keep them in a safe environment, free of stress and excitement. No one can predict the future. Yeah, who can blame the groomer, for what happened? I mean, she did her best. She did what she was told. Carolyn Medina, love your channel. Thank you so much, Carolyn. She says, my dog Agate passed in November and enjoyed watching. Wow, he enjoyed watching my video. Wow, that's amazing. That's so, that's touching. Seriously. Janice, please. My daughter died. My daughter, oh my God, died on February 14th, 5 years ago. I just quit living, but I also quit walking. So now I have to walk with pain, but I really want to walk. So I do it despite the pain. I've been where you are at. I'm getting better. I'm happy my daughter and her dog are back together again. That's so beautiful, Janet. That's such a beautiful way to look at it. It sounds like you're doing this. You're accepting the situation. You're asking yourself better questions, and now you are taking action. I mean, you're already doing this, Janet. That's amazing. Um, Angela, yes, she says, Janet, I'm so sorry for your loss. Okay, perfect. But if this helps anybody, I hope it does. I hope you guys got some value out of this because this literally changed my life when I started to read Eckhart Tolle, John Kabat-Zinn. So Eckhart Tolle, he has a book called The Power of Now that's really good. John Kabat-Zinn has a book. They have several books, but the ones that I like, he has a book called Full Catastrophe Living, all about talking about accepting what is, just accepting it, being more of an observer to it, and then seeing how you can improve the situation from there, and just accepting life as the full catastrophe, the good and the bad. Just understanding that you can't just have the good, and also understanding that it can't be all bad either. Okay, so perfect. Thank you guys so much for your time. I just wanted to get this out because this morning when I got the call and it was on my mind, I was just thinking like nobody even talks about this, because it kind of seems like the dark side of grooming, that everybody wants to avoid. Somebody needs to talk about this. Somebody needs to address the fact that when accidents happen at the groomers, yes, the family is affected. Yes, it's unfortunate what happens to the dog, but nobody takes the time really to consider how much it affects the groomer. Even when the groomer quits grooming, even if you get them by bashing them, by making them feel bad, by criticizing them, putting bad reviews on them, even after they quit grooming, for years, possibly the rest of their life, they have to now deal with this emotional turmoil inside, this conflict inside. But I thought I was a good person, but I wanted to help the dogs. That's why I did it. I thought I was helping, this kind of thing. But I guess I'm not. I guess I'm a monster. Everyone's saying I'm a monster. I guess I am. It's like, you know, again, if you're going through that situation, if the shit has hit the fan, then you accept the situation, you accept what is, take a good look at the situation, take inventory of everything, and then you can think clear-headedly, okay, this is a situation, I understand it. Now I can see my options better. Then you ask yourself better questions. What can I do with this? What can I do with that? How can I do this better? How can I plan for that better? The things that I know now that I've experienced this, now knowing what I know now, what can I do better next time? Right. And then you take action. Whatever you plan to do, whatever those answers are that you come up with, put it into action. And once you start making progress, once you start making measurable progress, and you start actually taking action towards your goals, that literally makes you feel better. For real. It's impossible to stay depressed while you're out in nature, walking your dogs, just really feeling it, getting in a good groove, get your endorphins are pumping. It's literally impossible to stay depressed in that when you're doing that. And I think that's why I avoid it. when I'm in that zone, when I'm negative and I'm down and I'm depressed, I avoid walking my dogs because I know it might pull me out of it. Um, Madame Madame Kate says, as a groomer who has struggled with depression, this is why I always insist that dogs change our lives for the better. I don't even have any dogs of my own, and I still believe this. Wow. Carolyn says, I found your videos early on in adopting my dog. I got a lot of hope and tools on how to get Agate's how to help Agate's behavior. Thank you for your help. I have a much better understanding of your industry. Awesome. Thank you so much. And that's really why I created this channel, is to try to create awareness, try to help owners better understand the importance of dog grooming and how much it has an impact on the dog's lives. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna go get some more tea. try to try to relax my throat. I got a big day tomorrow. Janice Place, I have a little Morkie who makes me play with him. Nice. Awesome, Janet. Well, Janet, stay strong. I hope you keep, that positive outlook. And Angela, thank you so much. Lucy, thank you for making the suggestion to make a separate video. I really appreciate that. And thank you guys, everybody. I hope this helps. You can take it. You can claim it next time you have conversation with your friends. Say, I came up with 3 A's. All right. Awesome, Nikki. Hey, Nikki. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.